You could Google this story, and I'm sure you will be concerned, as I was when I read it. The title is, and it's written by Jennifer Yoon at CBC, "They're too young to drive or vote, but they're caring for their ailing loved ones." Citing data from 2018, which is dated but nonetheless important, about 1.5 million Canadians between the ages of 15 and 30 are looking after loved ones with long-term health problems, according to a 2018 survey from Stats Canada. That may not be the full picture because those figures, even being outdated, didn't account for people under the age of 15. According to StatsCan, by 2068, more than 1 in 4 people will be 65 years of age or over and require care. And a recent case study by the Journal of Canadian Family Physicians says primary care teams should take an active role in identifying and supporting these young people as part of their loved ones. I wanted to get Dr. Janine Hubbard on about this issue generally and the mental health and wellness challenges that come for those who are put in the position to provide caregiving at such a young age. Janine, how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. And I have to tell you, Tim, I'm grateful for you bringing this article and some of the studies and materials in it to my attention. I'm embarrassed to say, but again, we don't get embarrassed. We learn and we move forward. This is really a hidden group that I haven't even in my own practice perhaps been asking about often enough and acknowledging often enough. And we certainly see it. Like I say, I think it's going to, I'm certainly sharing some of this with some of my healthcare teams and may change some practice moving forward.
Yeah, I think, look, you and I are of an age where it's not unusual to be caregiving for our parents, but we're adults. We've lived enough life. We have enough, perhaps, means and support to be qualified and able to do this. But when you look at, young people under the age of 15 being put in circumstances like this and lending their hand, what can that do to them mentally and physically and emotionally?
Oh, there's so many pieces. And I mean, we know the research around, say, siblings of children with disabilities or health issues that, some of the roles that they are put into. But here, because it could be siblings, it could be parents, it could be extended family. And there's a few things. First of all, it's definitely decreasing boundaries between parents and child. I mean, it's one thing as an adult if you're doing personal care, say for, an aging parent. But if you're a tween or a teenager and you're needing to provide that level of support for a parent, or even if you were just acting as translator in medical appointments, and we've seen this, you're learning information about your parents, very intimate details that isn't typical in that relationship between a parent and a child. And so how some of those boundaries develop, how that parent-child relationship develops, definitely can be impacted. Certainly the impact on social relationships. If you're having to spend your time worried about what's happening at home, whether it's because you're having to race home to, attend to people or at least to relieve someone else who's assisting, or just the exhaustion of trying to be a caretaker as well as, do your schoolwork and all those things, you're losing social opportunities. And what you are seeing, and like I say, this is where I'm acknowledging, I don't think they're feeling seen, they're not being validated, and it's what do you need for help? Because also there's a bit of an assumption, and I think Newfoundland, we do this in particular, of course you help out family, right? I mean, I remember doing that as a high school student or university student. I had family going through cancer treatment, so sure, I'd give them a ride to the appointment and drive them back. Like, you didn't think about that, but that didn't impact or significantly interfere with my life and my other commitments. And what we're not necessarily appreciating is that for a lot of young people, it's not just of course, I'm giving them a ride. It's how much more of their life is involved and the impact it's having on their mental health.
What about, as the story suggests, as a method of starting to address this, to have care teams understand this better, to have primary care physicians and others, and part of a care team would be bringing people like you and others in as a point for kids to go to get help. Is that a smart suggestion based on what we have read in the particular article?
No question. Well, it's even just the awareness and the importance of just stopping and asking those questions. Because I'll be honest, a lot of this is pretty invisible. So there's a wonderful toolkit that was produced by the University Health Network that helps healthcare providers kind of walk through, well, what kind of questions should you be asking? And making this more routine, because we're getting better at certainly screening for, routinely screening for, say, mental health issues in different appointments. But in the same way, I think we're getting better at screening for health, for caregiver burden. Like we think of it in the elderly, we think of it in, say, cancer treatment. You look to the spouse or whoever it is. Like we're really good at identifying that piece, or at least better than we have been. But I think we've been missing out. And I think this could be a really important, sometimes just asking is that first step of then saying, okay, what is it you do need?
Yeah. And it is often always the first question, and being comfortable to ask it to people who can either answer it for you or get you somebody who can. Got to leave it there, Janine. Thanks for hopping on and diving into this with us. I appreciate it.
Well, like I say, thanks for the coverage of it.
All right. That is Dr. Janine Hubbard. Always helps us out when we look at complex health issues. Okay.